Hello, I'm Bill Dallas, and I'd like to welcome you to a very special program, One Nation Under God. You'll hear from some well-known American leaders, historian David Barton, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich.
It is a lie to teach American history as though this was a secular nation.
I'm here with Reverend Samuel Rodriguez. He's the president of the National Hispanic Leadership Conference.
So imagine if we mobilize millions of voters across this nation to vote biblical worldview.
If you're a Christian and you're an American, you find yourself doing your best to honor both the cross and the flag. On November 6, 2012, we will have the opportunity to decide who runs our United States of America.
The core meaning of the 2012 election is to stand up and say, no, the 80% of the country that actually believes in classical America is now about to take back power from the minority elite.
In any given election, there are certain states that come down to just a few votes.
We've researched 21 states and have concluded that getting 5 million new registered Christians would decide an election. So how will we get that many new people to vote? It all starts with YOU. And then we want you to use your influence in your community to champion other Christians to vote. It's a grassroots movement. We want you to join at championthevote.com.
We want to transcend political partisanship.
The reality of it is Margaret Sanger and her whole eugenics movement, which led to Planned Parenthood, was really about eradicating America of all people of color. And then after she got rid of the people of color, then she wanted to get rid of all poor people, regardless of what color they were. And this is called black genocide. And these are some conversations that, once again, we have to start having as a community. And it goes back to what you said before, one nation under God. We're not in tune with God.
Strikingly, if you look through that document, it is amazing how many biblical clauses appear in constitutional clauses. Biblical verses and phrases, you'll find them through so many concepts. The Founding Fathers pointed to Bible verses as the source of those concepts. See, today we're oh no, government's secular. That's that compartmentalization again. They never believed it was secular. They looked to God to be included in everything they did, and that's where so many of those great ideas came from, was right out of the Scriptures. Now, after you get the Constitution done, you got the first Congress, now you need a Bill of Rights. And so we come back with the Bill of Rights, those first 10 amendments to the Constitution. And it's amazing how many preachers were in that first Congress that helped frame this Bill of Rights. So many preachers. And they gave us the First Amendment not because it guarantees separation of church and state. That's no such thing. It guarantees the free exercise of religion. They weren't trying to secularize the public square. They wanted to make sure that you could include God in those areas. So this literally is what we have. And when you look at who we are today and if it hadn't been for the church, we wouldn't have the country. We far outnumber any secular forces out there, but if we muzzle ourselves and stay silent and won't get engaged in this thing, we've just given it away. I mean, we've tied both hands behind our back and said, punch me in the nose. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, there is actually a website, blackworldregiment.wallbuilders.com. All these old sermons I showed you, we've got them posted there. You can download a lot of old books that talk about the preachers and their role. It just gives you a whole different vision. So if you're interested, you can go there. Outside, there's all sorts of materials as well that deal with this type of history.
Well, that was an amazing amount of information we just heard from David Barton. I'm here now with Congressman Bob McEwen. Bob, thanks for being here with me. You've got a chance to be with David all around the country. When you hear it, I mean, what do you think about all
He's
this?
the best. When the communists took over in Vietnam, and they killed the leadership, as they always do, in the re-education camps of South Vietnam, they taught evolution. And why wouldn't you teach Marxist theory or something? Evolution. You need to understand. You got here on your own. There is no God. You're not accountable to God. You got here as a combination of chemicals, and therefore the state is supreme. And when what is the antithesis of that? It's called America.
Well, Bob, we're just about to hear from former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. I know you got a chance to serve with Newt Gingrich for many years in Congress. Tell us a little bit about Newt and things we might hear from him in this next presentation.
Presidents came and went. Eisenhower won by a landslide. Nixon carried 48 states. Reagan carried 49. But the Congress, he never controlled the Congress. It stayed the same. Newt Gingrich came in and said, we're going to change it. And the old timers laughed at him and said, it can't be done. And he systematically, one vote at a time, one district at a time, made a difference that that's what he's known for.
Which goes back to the whole point that we've been talking about, is that with a plan, and if people are giving time and systematically moving forward step by step, we really can make a difference. We really can change a nation, correct?
How do you build a house?
Now let's hear from Speaker Newt Gingrich.
I can be pretty tolerant. But I can't imagine being comfortable with an atheist in the presidency. And frankly, we should be very direct about this fight. I, for one, am tired of the long trend towards a secular, atheist system of thought dominating our colleges, dominating our media. And so I, for one, am sick and tired. I mean, I have a PhD in history. I'm allowed to get up and say as an academic, half of what is taught in American colleges and universities is false. It is a lie. We ought to take it head on. And let me be clear, I'm not talking about physics or chemistry or all those things. I'm talking about the academic left, which dominates American history, dominates American social studies, and is determined to propagandize our children with values and ideas alien to the American tradition and alien to American civilization.
You are the movement. Sign up at www.championthevote.com.
You see, one person really can make a difference. That's why we're asking you to become a champion. So during this break we're just about to take, would you go to championthevote.com and sign up to become a champion? When you do, we'll start sending information. There is no cost whatsoever. We're just asking you to give 1 hour a week to have one-on-one conversations with other Christians. We'll provide you all the tools and all the resources necessary. And over the next year, as we mobilize Christians to be engaged in the process, we truly can once again have a country that is one nation under God.